The day has finally come. 2.0 Spider-Man is here, but is he any good? I certainly hope so. Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at the new CT Toys 2.0 Spider-Man, a figure that I'm really excited about, and that is of course a knockoff of amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech release. As most of you guys know, I've covered everything related to this figure, from its announcement to prototype, final promo shots and release date. And now the time has finally come for me to take a look at the finished product. We know that this figure should be the same height as the original. Unfortunately, I don't have the original, so I won't be able to compare, but I will give you his height, and if you do have the original, you'll be able to check if the height is the same. We also know that there is a potential missing accessory issue here, so we'll check all of that. First, a quick look at the packaging. The size is standard for a CT Toys box, but the look is inspired by the original Revoltech packaging. Other than a small CT logo down here, all other official logos are removed. We have a blank gray surface and a nice close-up promo shot of the figure. That shot continues on the side of the box. On the back we have more promo shots of the figure in some dynamic poses and included accessories. We have some warnings down here. Other side shows more shots of the figure. Nothing on the top, more warnings on the bottom, but now let's open it up and let's take a look at the figure. Here is CT 2.0 Spidey out of the box, and he looks fantastic. There are no loose joints, nothing is falling apart, and I feel silly when I say that about a CT product because we know that their copies are great, but it's still a KO, so I want to point it out in case someone is new to these figures. I remember a few years ago when the original came out, how I thought that I'll never be able to get it, and now, a few years later, I have this amazing looking knockoff. So based on first impressions, everything looks good here. His height is around 15.7 centimeters, and if someone watching this has the original, let me know if it has the same height. I love the silhouette of this figure. I know that Revoltech proportions and articulation cuts are not for everyone, but they are getting better and better with their body sculpts. I much more prefer this 2.0 version than their 1.0 version. I have a KO of that one as well. I recently reviewed it and posted it here on the channel. You can check it out, links are in the video description, but I will compare the two KOs in a few moments. Taking a closer look at the details, starting with the head, this looks really good. Everything is nice and clean, although I have one line misprinted here. It's this one. You can see how it missed the spot where the line is sculpted in. The rest of the web lines are nicely done. Eyes also look good, although under certain angles, when the light hits them, you can see a slight indentation where the pegs are. Eyes are pegged into the head and are removable because this guy comes with alternate eyepieces. More about that in a moment. The neck also looks good, and so do his chest, with a cleanly sculpted and painted spider logo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, original figure has a dotted texture on the blue parts of the suit, and those are kind of present on this KO, mostly on the torso, but you really have to look for them. They are slightly visible when the light hits the figure the right way. My copy also has few paint issues. For example, here, where the blue paint is missing, and here where we have some chipping of blue paint. But I mean, that is to be expected, not just because this is a KO, but also because we saw the prototype and we know that it's fully molded in red plastic and then the metallic blue is painted on. There is also a slight paint bleeding around his belt area. Here is a look at the back of the figure with another spider logo that is well done. But when you articulate the butterfly joints, this is what happens. Parts of the logo are duplicated on those butterfly joints, so it doesn't look the best, but that's the design that they went with. We also have 3 peg holes here for a flight stand and also for his web wings, but these actually give me hope that if they leave them on their Mass Toys symbiote version, we'll be able to use Agent Venom's tentacles. Here is a closer look at his arms and hands, and they also look pretty good. Legs are also well done, but here on the back side I have another case of paint bleeding. Again, it's a knockoff, and so I don't expect it to be perfect. Let's now take a look at his accessories. As always with CT releases, we get a flight stand that you need to assemble. It's always great to get a flight stand with a Spider-Man figure, so I appreciate that. He comes with a total of 6 pairs of hands. A pair of fisted hands that are already on the figure, and these also have peg holes for the web effects. We get a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of more open hands, a pair of gripping hands, a pair of web shooting hands, and a pair of wall crawling hands. And all of these are nicely painted. Switching out the hands is no issue at all. We pack these in and as you can see, everything works perfectly. Then we get 3 extra pairs of swappable eyes. A pair of standard neutral Spidey eyes are on the figure. We get a pair of serious squinting eyes, then a pair of surprised wide open eyes, and a pair of semi-squinting eyes, and these are somewhere in between the previous two. Now to change the eyes, you will need to pop off the head, and inside you can see where the eyes are pegged. You can use any kind of tool. I have this one that came with the 1.0 Spidey KO, so we simply poke out these eyes. This is what we have. And then here are all 4 looks, and of course you can combine these eyes. Then we get a pair of longer web effects, and these peg into his web shooting hands, but they also fit into his fisted hands. They are molded in a translucent green plastic, and I like the way that they turned out. Then we get a pair of these more spreading web shooting effects that also look good and that also peg into his whipping hands. And finally he comes with his web wing effects, and as expected my copy got 2 of the same left side wings. So I'm missing the right side wing. As I reported earlier, in case your copy also has this issue, all you need to do is contact CT Toys on their Funly Toy store on AliExpress and they will send you that missing piece. That's exactly what I will do after recording this video. For a demonstration, here is how the web wing looks when pegged into the figure, and as you can see, this other side should be turned in the other direction, and this peg hole should go here, so this doesn't work because it's the wing for the same side. Let's now take a look at his articulation. Top of the neck gives us a side-to-side rotation and a little bit of tilt, but then we have another cut at the base of the neck, so together they give you even better range of movement. He can look down this much and then up all the way. We have a standard Revoltech type of butterfly joint moving forwards and back, and then a double ball joint in the shoulder. And so with all that articulation, Spidey can put his arms across his chest this far. This is beautiful. And then here is how far they move across his back. Arms rotate 360, and we have a swivel in the shoulder, but then we also have a bicep swivel, a swivel on both sides of the elbow joint. So here and down here. Elbows bent all the way, we have a swivel in the wrist and a hinge in all directions. Then we have 2 cuts in the torso, the upper one that gives us a nice side-to-side tilt and rotation, but then we also get rotation at the base and also some side-to-side movement. So together our Spidey gets a crazy tilt to the side. This is how far he can bend forward, and this is how far he bends back, but notice that you will have some huge gappage of these 2 points in front. This is how far he can spread his legs, and this is how far they move forwards and back. We have a tie cut, knees that bend in all the way, and I've just noticed some more paint chipping here. We have a boot cut, feet move forward only this much, back is much better. We have a toe joint and a nice ankle pivot. So as expected, articulation is fantastic, but now let's compare this guy to some other figures. We're gonna first start with a comparison to the 1.0 Revoltech Spidey, and this is not the original, this is the KO from AliExpress. When you see them like this side by side, you can see how different the 2 bodies are. The 2.0 body is much bigger, stronger, bulkier, and looks more natural with its proportions in comparison to this one. This guy is really skinny, the silhouette doesn't look that good because he's one of the earlier Revoltech releases. He just doesn't look good in a standard neutral vanilla pose like this, while this guy does. In terms of the feel of the plastic and the joints, I am satisfied with this guy, but he kind of feels flimsy, gummy in comparison to the CT Toys knockoff. So it is still a good knockoff, especially if you're after this look. Articulation is great, I had no issues with the joints. You can see everything in my review, link is in the video description, but to me this is a much superior figure. Here's how they both look from the side, and I'm not a fan of the way that they designed the head sculpt for this guy, while this one is perfect. And here is how they both look from the back. Moving forward with our comparison, here is how he scales with Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Symbiote Suit Spidey. And I have this review coming up, so stay tuned. Here is how he scales with Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wolverine and Marvel Legends Movie Deadpool. Here he is next to the Mayfax Classic Suit Spidey and Daredevil. Here is how he scales with the SH Figuarts Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Sentinel Peter B. Parker. Here is how he scales with CT Toys Ben Reilly and The Amazing Spider-Man. Here is how he scales with CT Toys Brown Suit Wolverine and original Mayfax Gambit. Here is how he scales with a knockoff of Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech 2.0 Deadpool and CT Toys Agent Venom. Here is how he scales with Star Wars The Black Series Darth Vader and Imperial Stormtrooper. And then to see how he scales with some larger figures, here he is next to Masters of the Universe Cartoon Collection Skeletor and Revelation He-Man. Here he is with NECA TMNT Movie Raphael and Cartoon Leonardo. Here he is next to NECA Feral Predator and Savage Crucible Veteris Repax. And finally, here is how he scales with YOLO Park Transformers AMK Pro Series Optimus and Starscream. So there you go, that was my review of the CT Toys knockoff of Revoltech 2.0 Spider-Man. I'm thrilled that this figure turned out to be fantastic. Yeah, it has some small paint issues, but other than that, it's amazing. Once again, CT did not disappoint and they released another great copy that a lot of us wanted to have in our collection. I love the quality of the sculpt and joints. Just make sure to heat up the plastic before you start messing around with the figure. These things can be stiff coming from the factory and having to travel a long way to get to you. So joints can be stiff or even stuck. Don't force them, heat them up with a hair dryer for a couple of seconds and they will be good to go. But do I recommend this CT KO? I absolutely do. It's a fantastic copy and in case you can't get the original release, you have to get this one. It is so much fun to pose it around because of the crazy Revoltech articulation range. A missing accessory issue will be fixed, so I'm not worried about that. Anyway, all of these were just my opinions and now I would love to hear yours. So what do you guys think about this figure? Do you like how it turned out? Do you plan on getting it? Did you already get it? And if you did, are you satisfied with it? Let me know all of it down in the comments. I have to say thank you to the guys from CT Toys for sending this figure for a review. In case you still didn't order your copy, you can do so on the link in the video description. There you will find the link for this 2.0 Spidey, but also for all other CT Toys releases. A huge thank you to my Patreon and channel members for their support. If you can also join and help, please do so. Links are in the video description. And of course, to all of you guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.